only by the time it took to hold a mic and stand my ground. O shaking limb, O rooted tree. I did not realize at the time how much the arts would help me navigate through my negotiations of tomorrow, but art alone was not enough, and I often found myself feeling lost and dampened and unsure of the initial spark that had been set aglow inside of me. Furthermore, allow me to ask, what happens when we see our own brilliance and from it forge our resilience? What happens when a child is encouraged to explore the very essence of their own existence using color and form, and is not only able to create the work, but is taught to withstand the critique of his work? A thick skin does not exclude an open heart. O shaking limb, O rooted tree. What happens when a young woman finds her voice both as unique in timbre and unanimous in topic among her peers and mentors alike, and makes poetic connection to this land's united independence and her own rooted freedom and her future outspoken? What happens when fire inside of a glass box rendering our imagination projected onto a screen bigger than the body that broadcast it? Ask. What happens when young men and women go on living because someone took the time to show them their life was worth living for? Ask them. Ask. What happens when we finally find family beyond blood, not of our own flesh, but bound beyond the bond born of something just as strong? What happens when we rename ourselves and thereby reclaim ourselves? What happens when we favor catalyst over censorship, or friendship over analyst, or canvas for our challenges? We know the palette can be just as beautiful as the painting because the process is precious. We have seen it, and we mean it. Destination be adjourned for the journey destiny, so we ask, will you help us set our trajectory? For these students grow up to become our teachers, our leaders, our mentors, our parents. For these students can learn to shoulder the weight of a heavy head with tears flooded by defeat because they have been there and are still here. Ask 438 young men and women who return each year, for they have an answer worth hearing. Come as you are, and leave even more so. Ask 1,700 young adults who have come through Caldera, these beings of sound and light who have graced this idea concrete, who have made this a sacred place and a safe place. And we know because we have seen its rippling out from the center, consenting, concentric. What happens when we apply what we have learned here, out there? Ask them today. See, here we believe a community of art, the word itself so inestimably, unfathomably vast that its countless definitions rival those for love or God. Believe a community of art and supported artists will help us all better understand and explain our most abstract concepts, our most repugnant aspects, our most revered truths. We believe that a program of freedom will inform those who have gone through it. Yes, we believe art saves, but moreover, we believe it builds by many hands, despite all hardships, a brighter future. And we know in our heart, more often than not, the same person we have allowed to slip through the cracks will break, sometimes forever. The same person who is resolute to shoot and kill fellow classmates might have just as easily executed plans for a screenplay or a flash mob or bombed a wall with a mural and graffiti if given the proper tools and recognition and chance and extended hands. We know it in our hearts. We know this is more than a dinner and drinks and a place to be seen with our bank statements. This is advocacy. This is advanced placement. This is activation. This is suicide prevention, homicide prevention. This is one more person who will see their self-worth in the work they have unearthed from their own brilliance. Absolutely, evidently, undeniably radiant. And it goes on. And it goes on. Just like life goes on. Go up and on, just like light, they will go on, and it doesn't stop here, but it does start here. Thank you for your support of the Caldera Arts Program and a generation of youth who will continue to make this world, in a tangible way, a brighter place ever after. We will go on, absolutely, evidently, undeniably radiant.